And welcome back to Crypto 618 channel, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the Elephant Money exploit. But before we get started, if you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. Let's get started. So wow, it has been wild the last probably 48 hours with Elephant Money having an exploit. So I woke up to this a couple of days ago. I actually put an announcement straight out on the community. You would have seen that post with the exploit and what to do. And this is my summary of what happened and what I'll be doing moving forward. So let's have a look at Elephant Money exploit, what exactly happened, and let's go from there. So the first thing was there was a single smart contract exploit. There's lots of contracts for Elephant Money ecosystem, but there was only one that was exploited. I will link in the description to this document here, which is this is published by Elephant Money from the, BT, the dev, and this is called Reserve Exploit Live Updates. There is quite a few updates, and this is a live document with changes all the time. So I will link to that and link to more information in the description as well. So it happened April 12th, basically at 4:49 p.m. UTC on one particular contract. This is what happened with the chart. You can see here the Elephant WBNB. It just took a massive dump where basically exploit caused this. I'll go through some of the reasons why this happened. So this was Elephant. Now notice this was back in March. This is sort of before the major on-ramp, and now we're back to just above that level at the moment. So it's this period here which is completely dumped with the price. So with that in mind, let's go to the next one. Let's look at Elephant. This is the actual trunk, so it should be trunk versus BNB. And with this one here, you can see how it was at the dollar, and it actually went all the way down to nearly 50, 60 cents, and then has recovered so far around about 75 cents. So that is recovering and probably will go back to peg the way that is designed for the trunk BUSD. So as soon as this happened, Elephant Money Reserve was paused because that was the actual contract, was the reserve contract. It was paused. Also Stampede and the reserve was temporarily paused so that there was no sort of issues with that. They prevented any more damage with that respect. The official loss has been calculated at 27,416 BNB. This was what was taken out of that contract, which was holding the treasury. This was valued at $11.2 million. So this is something that came to my attention, which was the dev was aware of potential issue and was to be resolved in the next update. So he did state that he was aware of the situation. I think it was talked about 4 months ago that there was a potential for this to happen and it was being addressed, but that didn't happen in time, and they're working on that update as we launch this video. So this wasn't resolved. If this had been resolved 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, then this wouldn't have happened. So a lot of people have put said a lot of stuff about BT because this wasn't resolved and it was discussed, and yeah, there wasn't too much he said about it except that it was being done. I think in the next few days they would get sorted with this issue. Not sure why it wasn't addressed previously. Maybe the threat, possibly that it wasn't going to happen, but it did happen. Obviously the attacker or the hacker had resources far out what average person has, and which we'll go through now. So there was 261 million in volume was used to attack the treasury. So this is the kind of volume of money that was used to get that small amount out. In the upcoming version of Stampede version 5, this will pay out the yield only from the treasury, and redemption will be handled by PancakeSwap. So the current version or the previous version was not like that. Both the yield and also the normal redemptions came out of the same treasury. But now only the yield will come out of the treasury, which protects that, and redemption will be handled by PancakeSwap. Currently, it was a swapping, and the reason for this is because it was basically that 25%. If it was below peg, 25% was being produced, was given as Elephant token, and the rest BUSD. But when it was over the peg, this was going to just straight out PancakeSwap, and that's where it happened, where the attack happened. So the Elephant deployer will be deploying 2.5 million BUSD to the treasury once the patch is in place. The exploit also triggered the graveyard twice, which sold 20 trillion tokens because of the 262 million volume. So the graveyard holds between 50 and 51% of all Elephant tokens. And because it's a large holder and part of the contract, it has these, as the trading volume accumulates reflections, and then they're distributed and sold on the market. And this also hardens the treasury and everything. So it's an important process, but because so much volume came through, the 20 trillion tokens was sold, which also caused a decrease in that price that we saw in the chart. Now, 391,000 of Trunk has been purchased to rebuild the Trunk treasury. Because we saw before it was only at 75 cents if you redeem, and so the idea now is to build up this Trunk as quickly as possible to get it back to peg, so then redemptions can take place if necessary, and that's the idea, first of all, to get this treasury, and this is already happening at the moment, but we're waiting for the patch to come through. There's also a 10% bug bounty if the funds are returned and no legal action taken against hacker. Highly unlikely that this will happen, but it's been suggested that this is what is in place. If the hacker does want to return the funds, they can get their bug bounty. Also moving forward, BT, the dev, said that they will be having a formal process for bug bounties in the future to mitigate against this. This does happen in a lot of projects. So the official statement from the dev is do not sell, do not answer DMs, and your funds are SAFU. Now, whether you believe this or not, that's completely up to you. But the way it's working is in some instances when things like these events happen, which are extraordinary, and it is in the dev's ability to do something about it, this is the kind of statement that they will say, because at any time, once if you actually do sell currently, one, you will take a loss, and if you do redeem, you will take a loss also. Now, that being said, it's only when you sell that you're taking that loss. So if you want to sell out currently, if you're a holder, or redeem, just be aware that is what will happen if you do that. Now, over time, the way this ecosystem is, it didn't take long to accumulate and build the treasury, and over the last few months, it has really been doing well. So that has not changed. Those mechanics have not changed. So the actual process is going to continue, and it's going to build up the treasuries again, just with the normal trading that happens with Elephant Money and the progress that will happen. And also, I think the community, no one wants to take losses. So there will be people that already have taken losses and significant losses because they chose to sell, whether it was fear or uncertainty, but they may have already taken losses. And there's other people that are holders that have not done so. Anyone in Stampede couldn't have get out of their position, and they've been assured by the developer that that'll continue to be paid. So that was the official statement. If I have a look at the summary, the attacker used flash loan to steal the 11.2 million from the treasury. And they obviously are very experienced at what they're doing, and this sort of, they have access to the resources to do this. So whether it's an individual, a team, organized crime, who knows? But all the wallets have been tracked. Everything's been completely tracked, but the likelihood of them catching them is very slim, unless there's some new evidence that comes to life. Now, the Elephant price has dropped, which we talked about. Trunk lost its peg, and holders panic sold, and also trunk stakers redeemed because they were worried they were going to lose peg, and that did actually happen. So because of the holders selling and trunk stakers redeeming, this also drove the price down. The graveyard sold twice to rebalance, and this also further dropped the prices. Now at the moment, if we put it in perspective, what exactly happened, the elephant price went down by 78%. Trunk price went down 40%. Both of those prices have recovered since then. The elephant price is now the same as the 9th of March, just before the run-up to when, it sort of went parabolic. So it's not like it's dumped below, the original price that pre-sale or anything like that. It's literally only went back to the 9th of March. It's like rewinding to the 9th of March. That's where the price is right now for Elephant Money. Trunk is at 75 cents, and I think it'll probably move back to peg because of the nature of how this system works. Once this exploit is patched in the coming days, I believe that will quickly move back to peg once confidence is restored, because the holders that are holding have probably invested a lot of money into the ecosystem, and they don't want it to collapse, so they will do anything they can to support it. And that brings to me what's Elephant Money moving forward. What's going to happen? Well, there's going to be a new update, which we will check for that reserve exploit update, which is this one here that I've linked. And also make sure that you follow the next update that comes out, because I imagine it will be the update next will be that the version 5 Stampede contract has been updated. The treasury will now be protected from this type of attack in the future, and this is the only disclosed sort of vulnerability that we're aware of. And it's also discussed, there was mention about like Certec, which is a big auditor, how this could happen, and yeah, I mean that's for another conversation. But basically, these companies who offer these audits, they don't really. They don't really discuss what some of the ramifications are for the normal people that we're getting to. So yeah, that's disappointing for the people that provide these audits like Certec. Obviously, this is there's multiple contracts involved, and it does make it a little bit more difficult. So yeah, the mechanics of this ecosystem has not changed and will continue to grow over time. It is a reflection coin. Elephant Money is a reflection coin, and its utility is making money on stable coins, getting a decent APR, 30% APR on a stable coin, and that's the utility, and people want that to happen. So when they enter into both the native staking and Stampede, they will continue to do that and also roll, and all those actions will cause the buying of Elephant, which will also cause the locking up of liquidity and the locking up of that token over time. So the treasury will rebuild, this will be repatched, and the community will move forward, and this project will be much stronger than it was in the past. And hopefully the dev team will implement the bounty system so that something like this won't happen in the future, and if it does, they will want to get the bounty rather than ripping or stealing money out of the protocol or out of the treasury, and that's what some other projects have done. So that's what I see and what I'm doing. Obviously, this is not financial advice. You do your own research. I'm not selling Elephant or Trunk because instantly I'd be losing money. When the dev team says that the exploit has been patched, I will buy my Elephant and mint more Trunk and deposit into Stampede. That is my game plan. That hasn't changed. I have talked a lot on my channel about Elephant because it is a great ecosystem. It's a great project, great community. That's why I've put a lot of videos into it. I will be doing, of course, other videos about other projects, and I'll be releasing those soon. but you'll still see videos from Elephant Money. It's not a dead project to me. This is just an incident that's happened that's, you wish it didn't happen, but it has happened. But moving forward, this will be fixed, but none of that has changed. But it's completely up to you what you do, because this is not financial advice. You do your own research. You make your own choices. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So that sums it up. I will link to the reserve exploit live updates. Please check those out. And just remember, just to recap, these are the actions that are recommended from the partners between Certec and Insure and the devs is: do not sell, do not answer DMs, and your funds are SAFU. And if you do that, there's a very good chance that that will be the case, as this will most likely recover in the future, the way this platform works. So that's all I wanted to cover today. If you did like this video, please hit the like button. And if you would like to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. And I would love to see you guys in the next video. I'll talk to you then. Bye.